Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show with unvarnished truths and highly polished lies. On Lee Mack's team tonight, when she was young, she wanted to be a vet or a comedian. Either way, she'd have to practice her put-downs. It's Sarah Pascoe. And he's a former world snooker champion. In fact, just today, he got a 147. Dropped him off right outside the studio. It's Steve Davis. And on David Mitchell's team tonight, an actor who got rid of his TV set because there was so much rubbish on it. I can only apologise. From Line of Duty, it's Craig Parkinson. And she went to Cambridge, where she got an MA in History of Art. Just like Lee, she's as clever as she is beautiful. It's Claudia Winkleman. We begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Sarah, you're first up.
I once booked a holiday to Costa Rica because I thought it was in Spain. I only realised my mistake when I sat down on the plane.
David's team.
Where is Costa Rica?
It's in between America and South America.
OK.
Central America, they call it.
Sorry?
Central America, yeah.
And you realised when you sat down on the plane?
Yes.
What made you realise?
When you sit down on a plane, it has a chair in front of you, unless you're the pilot, and it has like a little square on it with the map that you're going to go on. And it says how long the flight is going to be. And this flight said 14.5 hours, which I thought was a long time to get to Spain. And...
Suddenly you're a geography expert.
Anyway, so it had all of the dots, and the dots were going away from Europe to Central America.
And who were you with?
By myself.
And where were you going at the time? Was this a holiday?
Yes, I was going to do a yoga retreat.
And when you booked the flights, was there no information about the landing time?
No, I booked the holiday, and this is bad, on a lunch break on my iPhone while crying. So I was paying so little attention.
OK.
I'd just broken up with my boyfriend, and the only time I had off work was Christmas and New Year. I decided that rather than being sad in the UK, I was going to go away and do something, like, really healthy.
So how did Costa Rica come into the picture?
Well, I was Googling yoga retreats, and when it said Costa Rica...
And in your mind, you've always associated Costa Rica.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, it's
Costa
in Spain.
del Sol.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, there is a logic to it.
Of course.
OK.
Yeah.
And so...
I love the way you did that. Yeah. I love the way you turned as if it was them that didn't quite understand that.
Did you get that from the office?
Rob, I'm going to break the news gently. You're the only one in the room that hadn't actually thought.
I hadn't put two and two together.
Do you make this mistake all the time? Like when you go to Costa Coffee, do you think that was a lot quicker than that? It swings around about, doesn't it?
Yeah, the first time. Now, what was it like?
Costa Rica? Because it's not in Spain, there's lots of different insects and scorpions that we don't have in Europe, that we've banished. And they've all gone to Costa Rica.
What insects do you remember?
Tarantulas.
They're not insects, they're arachnids. So...
All right, David. OK.
Well, let's be factually inaccurate, shall we? Because that never causes any problems as you enter the 9th hour of your flight. Spiders are not insects. Costa Rica is not in Spain.
OK,
this is why education is so important.
I've just got one more question. Did you see any monkeys?
Yes.
What kind?
Black and white ones.
This has all been noted. Continue.
Did that help, the monkeys?
Yes.
Do you remember how you paid for it?
On a debit card.
Right.
Because things are going fine.
Did you not think It's a little bit over the Spanish budget.
No, I didn't, actually. There's a couple of factors just to take into consideration. Number one, it was over Christmas, New Year, so everything's much more expensive.
You were going away for Christmas on your own to a yoga retreat.
Just split up with a boyfriend.
Show
some sympathy. Poor girl.
Yeah, but you don't want to be on your own at Christmas.
Don't fall for this. It's the classic bride and
Do you know
chat-up
what?
line.
It's-
Yes, I do. Just say that.
Do you know what?
I've got a flat in the centre
Yeah,
of
there we
town.
go.
You should come round. All right, what do you think? Is she telling the truth?
I've got a few problems with this. I think you can get there faster than 14.5 hours. And there are howler monkeys everywhere. That's why I asked the monkey question.
Are they black and white?
No.
Oh, what colour's a howler monkey?
Sort of, I'm going to say russet.
You used to be russet, didn't you, Steve?
Certain areas, still a bit.
So, what are you thinking?
No, I don't. What do you think?
I actually now think it's a lie. I'm with you.
We'll go lie.
So, Sarah, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
It's true. Sarah did go on holiday to Costa Rica because she thought it was in Spain.
That's disappointing for us at this stage, but the good news is a third of their team is an idiot.
That is 2/3.
Oh, great, yes, of course.
Don't forget me, David, come on.
OK, Craig, you're next.
When I was 8, for about a year, I insisted my parents set an extra place at the dinner table for Steve Davis.
Wow. These two.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
It's not about that.
It is to me.
I reckon you are, to put it in Steve's language,
Casting age.
3 reds and 4 black. That's a good point Steve makes. I can't do 3 reds and 4 blacks. But it took a me, didn't it?
I know, I've forgotten, and I'm a commentator.
Can I just say, you can, because you could use the black ball as a free ball, as a red, and you could get 3 reds and 4 blacks. So you're wrong there, Steve, but never mind, you're new to it. What era was this?
It was in the 80s.
So when Steve was like the world champion...
Steve Davis at that time, for me, was my hero.
But still is, surely. So, you'd never met him?
Ah.
You
well,
hadn't?
I had met him.
Oh,
yeah.
you had met him?
Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
I met him in a shopping arcade in Warrington.
This story's pretty rock and roll.
Have you ever been in a shopping arcade in Warrington, Steve?
I don't know, because the 80s were a long time ago. How old are you?
What was Steve doing in the shopping arcade?
Signing things for
Yeah,
people.
I did sign.
And did you take something to sign?
No, because it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I didn't even know he was going to be there.
Oh, it's a
And so, but you met him?
coincidence.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
I can't remember. He shook my hand and he signed a little piece of paper for me. He said, keep up, because I said I really wanted to try and play snooker.
He
He
said-
said, you've got to keep practising and practising.
To say that.
Right.
I used to say that.
Did you used to say
yeah,
that?
a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I think because he was so encouraging then, it really spurred me on, even though I wasn't even tall enough to start playing snooker, because it was really hypnotising when me and my dad used to watch it on the telly. I used to just want him to be there all the time at mealtimes. It made me feel very safe.
And did
Oh,
you...
it made you feel safe.
What? Don't be like that. That's a nice thing.
We haven't found out how old he is. He was probably born in about
got
78.
Wikipedia, didn't you?
Born in 78. I'm going to have him down as a 39-year-old man.
Yeah, we'll take that. That's fine.
The fact is that, as Sarah
Let's just
pointed
leave
out,
it there. 39. That's
actors
nice.
often
Actors
don't
don't
like
like-
to
No, they don't.
disclose their age because they
Yes.
feel it might prejudice people
Yeah.
against casting them, and I wouldn't want to do that with,
Yeah.
with Craig.
It's true.
Do we need to ask more questions? I'm just worried about the fact it might be true.
You're worried that it is true?
I'm worried it's true.
Because he
Why is
will
that
freak you
worrying?
out a bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Will it?
Because he's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, nobody likes stalkers, do they? I mean, like...
They can't stalk someone by staying in your own house.
Yeah. You
But
actually, if you think about it, you were in his house and you were
Yeah, it's
stalking
you.
him.
You were going...
So look, you're obviously a big Steve Davis fan. How many times had Steve won the World Snooker Championship at the age of sort of mid-80s?
3.
3. Does that add up?
Yeah.
What did you like about Steve Davis? Why was it... Why didn't you have an imaginary Bill Werbenick?
Because I'd never seen anybody quite like Steve Davis.
You believe it, do you?
So what's it going to be then, Lee? Do you think it's the truth?
Sarah?
I think it's true.
Are you into snooker?
Nope. But I've had a lot of fun listening to all the colours and all the numbers. I'm really missing out.
Steve, what are you thinking?
Oh, I don't want to know about this now. The thing is, if I say it's true because I've been sucked in, how stupid am I? I'll be the third stupid person on this team.
You think it's true, Steve? You think it's...
I think it's true. I don't want it to be true.
I think we're going to have to say true, then.
OK, you're saying it's true. Let's find out. Craig,
Steve.
was it true or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
Are you not interested in Steve Davis at all?
No.
I did like his character when he was spitting image. I like that.
Stop digging! Stop digging!
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. And it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Aubrey. So, Steve, what is Aubrey to you?
This is Aubrey. When he goes on holiday, I look after his pet snail.
Sarah, how do you know Aubrey?
This is Aubrey. He once followed me home for 10 miles just to return my jar of mango chutney.
Right. And finally, Lee.
This is Aubrey. We were once threatened with eviction after we stole and fried our housemate's socks.
David, where do you want to start?
Steve, this snail, describe it.
It's got a shell and an undercarriage.
Undercarriage. OK.
Welcome to Steve Davis Natural History. It's back to you in the studio.
It's a common garden snail, nothing
Right.
special, and Aubrey asked me to look after it.
Where does he keep it?
Basically in an aquarium, the same as you would keep any type of snake or lizard.
So he keeps a common, normal, regular snail.
Totally regular snail.
The sort of thing one might find, you know, dozens of just in the garden. He keeps one of in a tank.
Yes.
Does the snail have a name?
This one's called Judd.
And what do you feed him?
Lettuce or occasionally dandelion leaves.
Right.
As a treat.
Or you should give him Frenchman as a revenge.
Just go back a minute. You specifically said this one is called Judd, which to me suggests there are others.
Yes. He's had others. The last one was Ronnie.
Ronnie before Judd.
Before Judd. And Alex.
Alex? Now, are you picking up this theme, Craig? Yes.
Got this.
With your snooker knowledge, I mean...
Steve, does Aubrey have other pets?
He used to keep snakes.
What does Aubrey do for a living?
He used to work in the snooker club I played in.
Yeah.
And we got to be friends over a period of time. I was, to some degree, interested in snakes no longer. And that's how we sort of got a bit of an interest.
So does he live near you?
In the Romford area.
And when he goes away, do you go to his house to feed the snail?
No, the snail comes to me.
That must take ages. So, what does the task of looking after a snail involve?
Fresh food and
Yes, of
also
course.
keeping the soil moisture.
And do you monitor the... Would you worry if he appeared a bit sluggish?
At last, the art form has reached its peak.
Right, who would you like to quiz next?
Sarah, tell us the story about the chutney following.
I was in a supermarket and I did all my shopping, and then when I packed it up, I didn't realise that I'd left some chutney.
You packed up all the shopping apart from a jar of chutney.
Yeah.
Mango, did you say?
Mango.
Delish. Continue.
So nice. So then I went back to my car, I got in my car, I drove away. I didn't know I'd forgotten anything. And when I turned off the dual carriageway, a car was flashing me, and I thought I'd done something wrong. And it was this man called Aubrey, and he came out of his car and had my chutney.
Is this quite a special supermarket that you had to go all the way 10 miles to get this chutney?
Oh, it's called Lidl, and it is worth the drive, my friend.
It's worth that 10 miles.
I wasn't at my house,
Right.
so I wasn't in London, where I live now. I was at a writer's retreat in
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
A place called Sheldon in the Cotswolds.
So you're sitting at the wheel, he comes alongside,
Yep.
and you see him holding the chutney.
Yep.
What do you do?
Well, I put the window down.
OK.
And he says, "You left this at the supermarket.
Creepy.
I've been following you."
And then how did you know his name was Aubrey? Did he then go, Anne, lovely to meet you?
No, he tweeted me. He tweeted me that night.
Saying what?
How's your dinner with your chutney?
Did you reply?
No.
So hang
this
on.
is the first time you've seen your stalker since...
No, it's a year and a half ago. He's never got in contact again. He's not a stalker.
She left some chutney and he brought it back to her. If
For
that
10
makes you a
miles.
stalker,
For
then I
10
think we're all a
miles.
little bit of a stalker,
This is just
aren't
a
we?
jar of normal mango chutney.
It's delicious, but, yeah, normal.
Did you definitely leave the chutney there, or did he just pick anything off a shelf and then follow you, and he's here now?
Oh, yes, when you in the shopping, you found the jar of chutney.
Did you find more chutney?
I didn't, but now I'm scared, even though I know I didn't.
All the audience members are going, yes, he stopped me for chutney once.
Now then, what about Lee?
Lee, remind us of your story.
This is Aubrey. We were once threatened with eviction after we stole and fried our housemate's socks.
What was the name of the housemate?
Her name was Kathy.
And who caught you frying these socks?
The catching didn't happen till the next day because it was on New Year's Eve.
Right.
And we were about to go out celebrating. And we may have been, in my more carefree days, a little bit worse for wear. And so we decided it would be fun to fry these socks.
So how did you fry them?
Well, as anyone knows, you want to go for your basic, get a bit of butter in, get it all hot, nice and heated, lay the sock like a thin piece of steak, one side, all you're doing is searing the edges. You don't want to cook the middle.
How did you know Aubrey?
But, well, me and Aubrey had been travelling together in Australia, and we were in Australia at the time. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, well, I just have.
Those socks were left in the frying pan, weren't they?
Overnight.
So who found them the next day?
The mother of the flatmate.
No way.
Yes, way.
Describe the crisis of the next day. The mother's there. She's come into the house. She's seen the charred socks in the frying pan.
Yes.
What happens next?
So we've come back late on New Year's Eve. Now New Year's Day. It's like 4 in the morning. So I was still asleep, and it was Aubrey that got the grief off the mother.
Right.
What was she so cross about?
What was she so cross about? We'd fried her daughter's underwear. What do you think?
That's well,
not
socks.
underwear.
Socks is not underwear.
They are where I wear them.
So the mother gets cross with Aubrey and says what?
She went, "Good day, Katie. How are you?" She's come in, and then she comes and she goes, Screw, who's done that in me daughter? Who's done that with me daughter's socks? I'm going to go crazy. Oi, you, Aubrey, get yourself down here. So Aubrey comes down, wanders down in the kitchen. She went, Struth, mate, who would fry a girl's socks? And then he said, look, we were a bit... And she went, don't you... And she went crazy at him. She absolutely went crazy. She said, I'm going to report you to the owner of the house, she said, and I'm going to have you evicted.
Were you evicted? Did you have to leave
We
it?
weren't evicted. We were threatened with eviction.
Yeah.
I think the landlord did then have a word. Aubrey was very much seen as the leader of the two of us.
Right.
He's the kind of person... I mean, look at the different statures of the two of us. He can hold himself. Boy, can he hold himself. And... smile!
We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Aubrey Steve's snail mate, Sarah's condiment saviour, or Lee's sock-sizzling sidekick?
This is a problem.
It is.
What's the problem?
Well, the problem is no one would keep a single snail as a pet. No one would follow someone 10 miles just to return some chutney. And Lee would fry some socks, but it's clearly not Lee. So,
come on, what's
socks.
it? Socks? You're saying socks. OK,
Socks.
In that case, Aubrey, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Aubrey, and Lee and I fried our house-made socks.
Yes, Aubrey is Lee's sock-sizzling sidekick, and the proof is found in this. Those are the socks. And who is that ever so camp, glamorous young man holding them up? Thank you very much, Aubrey. Which brings us to our final round, quick-fire lies, and we start with... It's David.
whilst trying to take a picture on a ramble, a big horse bent my selfie stick.
And was it just you on your own?
No.
Please tell me it wasn't just you on your own.
No.
In a field with a horse taking a picture on a selfie stick. Come on, make an effort. Look as if you're enjoying it.
There were 3 other people there.
Was it for all 4 of you to be in the photograph with the horse?
No, we weren't trying to get the horse in the picture.
Oh, the horse wasn't part of the picture?
No, we'd asked the horse to take the picture.
Yeah. How did the horse get involved in the story, then?
This might be a help. Look what I've got. This is one of these selfie sticks that are so popular. If I were to go and hand this to you, David,
Yes. Yeah.
why don't you come out and imagine you're in the countryside, and you could...
And Rob, with that face, you can play the horse.
It's not just the face that resembles...
My apologies.
I don't really want to touch it now.
All right, here we go. So I'm a horse. Here I am.
There we are, taking the... Ready to take the... We're all nicely in position here for the photo with the hill. Skittish horse. Skittish horse. I'm trying to take the thing. I didn't...
Can I just check, Rob? Are you a meerkat trying to sell car insurance?
I'm a horse. I've reared up onto my hind legs.
It didn't rear up. It just sort of danced about a bit.
You worry about playing a repressed middle-aged Englishman, and I will worry about playing a horse.
OK. So we're ready. We're taking the picture. I can't get the button to work. Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. Fiddle, fiddle. I accidentally drop it, like that. Skittish horse. Canter off. Oh, no!
Oh, I can't hold it. I got hooves. And then it was broken.
It was a bit more bent than that. There we go. And then... Oh, dear.
And then did I get in the picture as well? And that was it.
What do we think? I mean...
It really reminded me why I don't go to the theatre. It's a very, very poor art form.
It is, isn't it? Yes.
It's reminding a lot of other people why they don't watch much television.
So, is it the truth, or is it a lie?
Lie?
I think it's a lie. Because of the selfie stick.
Yeah.
You think it's a lie?
Yeah, we'll say
OK,
it's a lie.
David.
Yeah.
Truth or lie?
Well, it is a lie.
Next. It's Lee.
I once returned a T-shirt to a shop, furious that it had shrunk in the wash, only to discover, mid-complaint, it was in fact my 7-year-old son's.
David.
So what did the T-shirt look like?
It was a small red T-shirt.
I'm guessing you had recently bought a adult-sized red T-shirt, and you had put that in the wash.
Correct.
But and presumably also your son's identical red T-shirt, but purchased at a different time in a different place.
I got it from Gap, and he got it from Gap Kids. And I just grabbed it, put it on, thought, oh, it's shrunk. I had no reason to believe it was any... I didn't check the label. That was my T-shirt, as far as I was concerned.
So when you went back into Gap, what did you say?
I was in a queue for ages. Someone shouted next, and so I thought I'm in the wrong shop. and then I finally found out that it was Gap, so I got to the front of the queue, and I went to the counter and I said, I'm not happy.
Yes. What did they say?
They said, well, which one of the dwarfs are you?
I'm interested in you saying that you actually put on your son's T-shirt, which, lest we forget, you said earlier is something for a 7-year-old child.
Well, I didn't want to say it on national television. My son is clinically obese. Well, you forced my hand, so now I've got to say it, OK? So thank you for that. Thank you, David. No, he's not clinically obese.
I know this is probably not the right way to play this game, and this may seem a little bit like I'm helping the other team, but surely your T-shirt and your son's T-shirt would have shrunk at the same rate.
He didn't know his child's T-shirt was in there.
Yeah. Nothing actually shrunk. Steve, are you following me? Nothing shrunk. Nothing shrunk.
Nothing shrunk. I've got my
just his son's T-shirt.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So there's no shrinkage. No shrinkage is involved.
OK.
You following this?
So why were you complaining?
So there you are at the front of the queue and you're talking to the assistant.
I handed it over. I said, I'd like to swap this. This T-shirt has shrunk. She looks at the label, which I haven't done. She looks at it and assumes that it is my child's T-shirt that has shrunk. And she said to me, are you sure it's shrunk? To which I said, yes, because I couldn't put it on. To which she said, well, yes, but could your child put it on? I said, I'm not giving it to my son just because it's shrunk. And she said, well, if you're sure it's shrunk, then OK, it's shrunk. She went off, she came back, she gave me another T-shirt, exactly the same size.
And what did you say?
I said, well, that has also clearly been in a high wash. She said, how big are these supposed to be, then? I said, well, they're supposed to fit me. She said, why are they supposed to fit you? I said, because I bought an adult T-shirt. She went, ah, ah, ah. This is hilarious. I said, why? She goes, I don't even work here. I've gone to the wrong person, haven't I?
OK, it's time to guess, David. What do you think?
Well, we don't need to guess. It's a lie.
Put us out of our misery. Was it the truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Well, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. And I can reveal that David's team have won by 3 points to 2. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.